Okay, it's time for the final of the Supermarket Premium Lager Taste Test Championship. And wow, what a championship it's been so far. So, well, what can I say? It's time to look at the first finalist. It is the Singha. What a beer this is. Let's have a look at the Singha's route to the final. So, the Singha started off against the Bermeretti Salle de Mer, absolutely smashed the Salle de Mer, no problem at all. And then in the quarterfinals took on the Asahi, which defaulted over the Tyskie, with it being a better beer, let's face it. But it wasn't strong enough to beat the Singha. The Singha beat it quite comfortably to sail into the quarterfinals. After sailing into the quarterfinals, the Singha put up a great fight against the Warsteiner, and it even did it twice. Both times it made me get the beers the wrong way round, and both times it beat the Warsteiner fair and square. It's a cracking beer with a brilliant aftertaste. It's going to be really, really hard to beat. But if any beer stands a chance of beating it, it is this one. It's the Paulaner Munchner, the other finalist. Let's have a look at the Paulaner's route. Well, the Paulaner started off a substandard bottle of Paulaner went up against the Brewdog Lost Lager, but didn't have any problem showing the Brewdog Lost Lager the door, and sailed into the second round, the quarterfinals, where it took on a very, very strong Menabrea, but it was a very, very strong bottle of Paulaner, which basically had no problems beating the Menabrea, and moved into the semi-final, where it took on the strongest thing it would ever take on so far, which was the Krombacher, an absolutely amazing Pilsner. Both beers really close, the closest taste test in the championship so far. What can I say? It came down to personal taste at the end of it. I preferred the mellowness of the Paulaner over the bitterness of the Krombacher. That was just my personal taste. On a different day, it's highly possible the Krombacher would have gone through. It broke my heart not to put the Krombacher through, but it would have broken my heart not to put the Paulaner through as well. And the Paulaner got there, and at the end of the day, a good bottle of Paulaner is really the only thing that's going to stand a chance of beating this boy, the Singha. What a beer! What an underrated beer! A beer that when I did my spreadsheet back in the day, went really high up, one of the highest rated lagers for a long time because it's one of the first ones I reviewed. And then when I saw it up there, I thought, was the Singha really that good? Got another bottle, tried it again, and yes, it was. It's such a good beer, this one. And the Paulaner obviously is really strong. This is the one that I would have bet would win the whole thing at the very beginning. But at the end of the day now, it almost didn't get to the final, and really, I don't know what's going to happen here. Anyway, these beers are getting warm because it's about the third time I've done this introduction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to how it's going to be done. So this taste test is not going to be blind. It's not going to be double blind or quadruple blind like the quarterfinals were. It's not going to be blind in red cups. In fact, this one is going to be unblind. Oh yes, the final is going to be just me living with these beers for 15-20 minutes maybe, just sipping them, gulping them, just seeing what I think of them, and just coming to a nice, fair, unbiased opinion of which one I think is better and which one I think deserves to be crowned the Supermarket Premium Lager of all time, or of the year, should we say. I don't actually know what's going to be crowned now, but it's the winner of the Supermarket Premium Lager Taste Test Championship, that's all I know. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the glasses that we're going to use. So we're not going to use the Rivington glass and the Augustina glass now. We are going to use lager glasses with handles. This is the kind of glass that these beers should be enjoyed in. I'm going to pour almost a full glass, just with a bit of nosing room, because I am going to live with these beers for a bit, and we are going to see what these beers are actually about. Okay, this is no frou-frou taste test this now. This is a proper session. And we're going to try both of these, and we're going to come up with a conclusion of which is better. Anyway, we're not going to do it back in a bit. I'm just going to keep going. So let's crack open the Singha and get it in here. I'm hopefully not lost too much of the coldness because they've been out of the fridge for a bit now, but you know what? They're just going to taste great anyway. So let's get this in here. Go to about there. So that's the Singha in that one. We might as well keep the bottle there. The Paulaner, let's get the lid cracked off the Paulaner. And let's pour it into this glass. So we'll go in here, bit of nosing room again. Now the Paulaner I got from Spa because they keep it in the fridge in Spa, and I thought that's really a better way to keep it fresh. We want a nice fresh bottle of Paulaner, so that's almost a full bottle really. Anyway, of the Paulaner. So we've got the Singha, we've got the Paulaner. Let's have a little look at them both. So the Paulaner and the Singha, put them next to each other. They are both exactly the same colour. They are both look exactly the same, to do with carbonation and stuff. They're both getting very similar heads. Are they the same beer? Are they the same beer? Is this what we're going to learn today? Is that these two are where they are because they're both actually the same beer? I very much doubt it. So this is brewed. Oh, somebody's sending a message through. Sorry if you heard that on the thingy, but this is live. It's not live, but it is live. So this is actually brewed in the UK by Shepherd Neame, which I don't think I mentioned that before, which is interesting. So this is brewed in the UK. It's not even brewed in Thailand. And this is brewed in Germany, as far as I know. Should we just double check? Yep, so that's brewed in Germany by the Paulaner Brewery. This is brewed in the UK. But who cares? This is an amazing beer. This is an amazing beer. Let's start tasting them. Let's start nosing them. Let's go for it. Come on, let's do it. So, starting with the Singha. So there, we're getting the lemoniness, we're getting the grassiness, we're getting quite a bit up front there. We're getting just a lovely floral note, a lovely lemon and grass note. It is smelling lovely, absolutely lovely. Yeah, and it does it. There's a little bit of syrupiness, a little bit of maltiness in the background, but at the end of the day, the nose is very kind of citrus forward. Which I've said before, everything I've said about this beer is just coming to the front now. It's looking lovely. It's a lovely kind of temperature at the moment. It's not too cold. We're really going to get the flavour out of this beer right from the off. It's looking nice. It's creating a little bit of condensation on the outside of the glass. Absolutely looking lovely. I might put that forward a bit. Hopefully that doesn't obscure anything. Just gets it out of my way a bit. So we've got those. We've got the Paulaner. We've got the Singha. Let's try the Paulaner now then. So I'm not going to keep switching hands here because I don't want to forget which is which. So this one, yeah, it's got a bit more of a biscuitiness. They're not the same beer. So on the nose, a bit more subtle, the nose to this one. Biscuitiness there. On the nose, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of grass, but that's a bit more in the background. This one, the lemon and the grass is, yeah, a lot more up front. Now, when I was going to do this, one of the thoughts I had was possibly scoring them out of 10 on different categories and then adding them together. But I don't want a mathematical winner here. I don't want something like my chart that I used to do, just allowing numbers to say which is better. At the end of the day, I'm going to prefer one of these over the other. And how do I know what to do? Well, let's just say I've got a bottle of each of these in the fridge, but I'm only allowed to drink one of them tonight. Which one will I drink? So after I finish these two, which one will I go back to? And that is what's going to decide the winner. It's just going to be a gut reaction. Which one would I want to go back to if I could only have one more tonight? And I had to pull the other down the sink, even though that would be sacrilege. Let's have a look. Let's get this nose again. So it's certainly a more subtle nose, but I am preferring the nose. There is a reason why I thought this one would be a favourite. Because it is such an absolutely banging beer, and it is up there with a lot of those beers in booths that were disqualified because of the fact that they were too good, let's face it. But say if anything can beat this, it's this, because this is amazing. But yeah, we're getting a lovely balance there of grass, of lemon, a little bit of citrus, a little bit of floral character, bit of biscuit, bit of bread. It's got it all. That's smelling like a decent bottle of Paulaner. There's a little bit of bitterness in the smell there. A little bit rustic. A little bit of a Staropramen vibe to the smell there, but the Czech Staropramen. Oh yeah, definitely. That bottle of Czech Staropramen I had from Lidl, it's got a similar nose there. So the more I smelt that, the more the nose came out. So I'm going to be going backwards and forwards this beer. We're going to no cleansing of palates. We're just going to drink them both and see what we think. So I'm going to do for a little sip of the Singha first. So I'll have a bit of a sip. So it's sharp, it's dry, it coats the side of your tongue. Oh, and that's that aftertaste. The thing that will win it for this is that aftertaste. That aftertaste is absolutely delightful. It's really good. I mean, don't know whether you like this kind of thing or not. That aftertaste is lovely. It's the kind that you get from that kind of German Helles kind of style beer, where you get a lovely little biscuity bready aftertaste. But this really has it in spades. It's really good. I'm having a go. I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said? It's crisp, it's clean, it's refreshing, it's amazing. It's really good. I've got to start drinking this one because I just want to drink this. I want to have a good go on this one. I want to gulp this one and have like a decent amount and see how it goes down. But do this one next. So let's go on this. I haven't said cheers. I do apologise. Cheers. This is a good bottle of Paulaner, which is good news for me, possibly bad news for the Singha, but they're both so good. I can't call it yet, and I will not call it yet, because I'm going to live with these for a bit, and only when I've drunk a fair bit of them and really had a good go on them will I actually know which I prefer. Initially, which did I prefer initially? Let's have a bit of this one. This pack's more of a punch from a flavour perspective. This one's definitely crisper and cleaner and more refreshing. What do you prefer? I don't know. It all depends on what kind of thing your tastes are. What else have we got in the flavour here? Let's have a think. So a bit of maltiness, a bit of syrupiness, a bit of breadiness. You don't really get that with this on the arrival. It's not got much of an aftertaste. Really, there isn't a lingering aftertaste with this one like there is this one. I mean, what strengths have we got here? So this one's 5%, and this one is 4.9. So they are very similar strengths, really. And given like the tolerance that they have for light percentages, they could well be the same strength. In fact, this one could actually be stronger. But we'll see. Let's have another go on this one. A little bit of apple in the taste on that one. I'm not a big fan of apple in my lagers. A little bit of an apple there. And again, this is me now. I'm searching for flaws now a little bit in them. Yeah, so there is a little bit of appliness in that. Again, not a big fan of that. So that would be possibly a negative for the Singha. That aftertaste is an absolute positive. It really is a massive plus for the Singha. Let's see if we can find any negatives in the Paulaner. There's nothing off about the flavour as a negative, but it is. The flavours are a bit muted. This is more vibrant. It's more alive. This one is a bit more meh in that kind of thing. But again, say like meh compared to the other beers in this taste test. Neither of these could even be considered meh. But in the grand scheme of things, fishing for flaws, this could possibly be a little bit more vibrant, a little bit crisper. It's not as crisp. So at the end of the day, this has that slight kind of appley taste in it, which I'm not a massive fan of. But this one doesn't have the same kind of, I don't know, sort of aliveness that the Singha does. Again, it's about your occasion, really. I'm gonna have a decent drink on this one now. So that went down nice. It's very smooth on the way down. A little bit gassy towards the end there. That was just kind of like, I just feel it kind of bubbling up a bit inside when I had a good gulp of that. So it didn't go down quite as smoothly as I would have hoped. Sipping it, it's nice and clean, nice and crisp. Give it a gulp. It kind of does bubble up a little bit around here. I'll just wait for that to subside a minute before I try the same thing with the Paulaner. I don't really want a lager that's going to make me burp, which it might do in a minute. When I've tried to drink, a decent gulp of it. If I'm dead thirsty and I want to drink half a pint in one go before I savour the rest of it, I don't want something that's going to cause me any issues, shall we say. That one is not sitting as well as I would have hoped it would. But that's the thing, you see, we're going to really put these beers through their paces. I'm hoping that this video is not too long for my phone to handle. I don't think it will be though. I was going to shoot it in 2 lots. Should I shoot it in 2 lots? Answer in the comments below. Actually, don't bother answering. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot it in 2 lots. I might have a little bit of a burp, and then I will come back in a minute. And I'm back. Again, I did need to get rid of a bit of that gas created by gulping the Singha then. But also, I've cut this into 2 just in case something went wrong with a long video. I don't actually know. It probably wouldn't have done. But it's always nice to have a second bit to it. Right, so let's get on to this one now. Let's get on to the Paulaner. So, Singha to the side. I'm going to have a gulp on the Paulaner, see how that goes down. Cheers. Why not? I gulped that quicker. Let's hope no. I'm going to put some more in here. There we go. Let's finish it off. Let's finish it off. Right. Well, yeah. There you go. I'll try again on this, but that has filled me with no gas whatsoever. And that's the thing, you see. We're getting really picky now. These are amazing beers. From a taste perspective, you can't tell the difference between. Well, you can tell the difference, but you can't really pick a winner. It's very hard to pick a winner. They're quite different. They have different positives and different negatives. And I'll have another gulp on this just to see whether it was just a one-off, whether it was maybe what I had for tea. That was giving me gas and not this, but yeah, I can feel it again bubbling a bit. It's not as smooth. It's not as smooth going down. So, what can I say? I'm going to live with them for a little bit longer before I make a decision. Let's get tasting a bit more, maybe. I don't really know what else to do now at the end of the day. I think everyone knows which way this taste test is leaning. I want to give both of them a fair go. So, if I'll have another go on them both. I'll just fish for a bit more stuff. As you know, with the Krombacher and the Paulaner, I was flip-flopping like mad as to which one was better. It's getting me again, the gas there. It's not looking good for the Singha, unfortunately. Not that we're going to be down in our beers anyway, because we're going to be drinking responsibly. If I'm out in the garden, I don't want a beer that's going to give me gas after half a pint, because that's not a very pleasant way to spend the afternoon. Burping all afternoon, and we've got a burp coming. Yeah, that's very noticeable on this one. A little bit more carbonated. Just gets a bit, gets you a little bit gassy if you drink it a little bit too quickly. I'm not talking Foster's gassy. Don't be daft. It's nothing like that. But yeah, there is a bit there. This is smooth as they come. It just is. It's just, I don't know why, but that's just sitting. That's sitting lovely. That it's just gone right through. This was just bubbling a bit there. So let's have a think then. So what are we doing? This one's ahead at the moment, as you can probably tell. This one's got, I said, a bit of the apple in the taste, but again, it's so unnoticeable. It's not like the apple in the Asahi, which is a bit more up front. This is a little bit more to the back, but I don't know where that comes from. But it's not really for my taste. But this one is vibrant. It is alive. It is clean. It's interesting. It's nice. It's got a lovely balance of bitterness and smoothness. And it's got that aftertaste. It's got an aftertaste. It's absolutely lovely. Although the aftertaste does, it's obviously very samey after a while. It loses its it loses its oh, is allure the wrong word? It probably is. It loses its interest after a while. Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, that's that aftertaste again, you know. I do want to make this not biased. I do like my Hellspears, I must admit, but there's a reason I like my Hellspears. Because they're good. They're really good. They're smooth, they're well balanced, they're biscuity, they're bready, and there are some dreadful Hellspears out there. There really are. There's some things that try and pass themselves off as Hellspears that they just can't do it. This is the real deal. This is a proper Hellspear. Should it have been allowed in the Championship? Some might say no. It's available in Tesco, Spar, Marks and Spencer's, the other place that I mentioned. Oh, I can't remember where else has it, but there's other places that have it as well. Where's the other place that has it? I can't remember now. But yeah, loads of places have this. You've got Spar, Booths, obviously. Yeah, Booths have it as well. But it's, you know, it's good. It's brilliant quality. It's the same stuff. It's just a really good Hellspear. Singha, it's a bit harsher. It's got a bit of that apple taste. It's not going down as easy. It's, yeah, I mean, this is a fight, and the fight is starting to change now. The fight is starting to, the Paulaner is starting to pummel the Singha a bit, which is a shame because they are such amazing beers, and it's only because I'm splitting hairs at the moment that it's starting to go one way. But that's it. I want you guys to be here on the journey for me, seeing how the mind gets made up. It's not going to be a kind of like a, okay, here's this, here's that, this is the winner. This is how it's going. So this guy's got to do something. He's got to pull something out of the bag in order to survive in this final. But I'm still getting the burps coming up. I know that's from the Singha. It's not from this one. Might have to release a bit of that pressure. I do apologise for anybody. But that's the thing, you see. It's like I've not really, you know, gulped any of these yet. But it's a bit too bubbly, it's a bit too frizzy. It's on the taste front, it's great, it's got that lovely aftertaste, but I'm tasting these side by side now. I don't know whether this is a really, really good bottle of Paulaner or not. This is what I remember Paulaner being like. To me, this is what a bottle of Paulaner tastes like. It's well balanced, it's smooth, it's biscuity, it's bready, it is absolutely delicious. Yes, it might not be as interesting in the flavour as this one. It might not be as vibrant. You know, it might not be as punchy. But so what? You know, at the end of the day, you don't need your lagers to hit you in the face with something bitter, or so I don't need my lagers to hit me with something bitter or lemony in the face straight away. I just like a beer that's really tasty, and this lager is really tasty and also really, really smooth. And I can't think of any other beers that would go down this easy like that, but it really does. That's refreshing, a little bit bubbly. So let's sum up. Let's sum up the final outcome. So this beer is an amazing beer. Singha, wow, what a beer. It's vibrant, it's interesting, it's punchy. Get yourself a bottle. It's gone a bit warmer now. When it's colder, it's cracking. It's got a lovely aftertaste. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a really well made beer. It's great. However, it's a little bit on the overcarbonated side. It's got a little bit of kind of appley flavour, which I'm not a massive fan of. It kind of contradicts the cleanness a bit. Yes, it's got that lovely aftertaste, but you know, the aftertaste, once you've tasted it a couple of times, it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. And really, that's it for the Singha. I'm afraid the Singha has to come runner up. I am sorry, Bennett. Bennett had this pegged as a winner right from the beginning. I would love to see this win, but at the end of the day, I've given you my reasons. This is what I'm thinking. The Singha is going to come runner-up. So, let's put this runner-up down on the floor for a minute. I'm really going to enjoy finishing off that runner-up, and there's not much of it left, to tell you now. But, let's just give this one some space. The Paulaner. I've just had that Singha again. It's bubbling up again. It's weird. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, I've not long since eaten my tea, so that might be something to do with it. If I was hungry, it may not bubble up as much. This is not bubbling up at all, though. This is going down smooth. If you have a nice meal, large meal, something to wash it down with without bubbling up inside your esophagus, this is the one you want. It is as smooth as anything. It is smooth, it is tasty, and the one I'm drinking at the moment is absolutely amazing. It's such a good beer. It just is. It just really is. Some are better than others. I have had a couple of Paulaners that have not been amazing, but every Paulaner I've ever had has been good, and I've really enjoyed it. This one, is it as amazing as the one that beat the Menabrea? I don't know, but what else can I say about this before I finish? It is biscuity, it's bready, it's a little bit lemony, it's a little bit grassy. All the flavours are perfectly well balanced, but above all, it's really smooth. It's carbonated enough to keep it lively, to keep it a little bit lively on the tongue, make it interesting. But above all, it doesn't bubble up. It just doesn't create any kind of gassiness as well. It's so easy to drink, so flavourful. It is as close to the perfect lager as I'd find, really. And yes, there are better Hellas's out there, and I'm hoping to do, and I'm going to do some, and we'll talk about the future in a minute, but first of all, let's give this guy a spotlight. The winner of the Supermarket Premium Lager Taste Test Championship is the Paulaner Munchner Hell, so congratulations to the Paulaner. But moving forward, what am I going to do? I've got a few ideas. I'll probably do them all. I think the next one, though, is me talking about the beers in booths that were not allowed in this championship. I want to do another taste test championship. I want to do another blind taste test championship, but this time I want to include any lager that's available in the supermarket. Now, I'm not going to review, like, I'm not going to have a tournament 64 or whatever like that, because that's insane. It would take forever. I'm going to stick to 16 again, I think, but this time no holds barred. So I'm going to pick the 16 most interesting looking lagers that I can find in supermarkets. Most of them will be from booths, the ones that weren't allowed. But I'm going to scour Waitrose. I'm going to, I'll probably get the Bitburger Pils, which is something I didn't include in this, which I could have included in this, so I might put that in there. Depends how much we've got room for. The Paulaner is going to be put in there as well as the winner. But what I'm going to do as well is the Singha. It's a good beer, but the Paulaner beat the Krombacher, and I think the Paulaner beat the Krombacher by a smaller margin, a much smaller margin than the Singha. So I'm not going to call the Singha the second best lager in the supermarkets. I'm going to do a taste test of the Singha against the Krombacher to find a second place. Now, I've heard of third place playoffs, but second place playoff this time, okay? Usually, the runner-up is the second place, not in my taste test. I don't know whether the Singha is as good as the Krombacher, so I think it's only fair to put them up against each other. Okay, the Warsteiner is not as good as any of three of them. The Warsteiner is lower. But I think the Singha and the Krombacher will be an interesting taste test to do. So that's the next thing going to be. It's going to be the second place playoff and see which one ends up coming second. The top two are going to go in, and I'll probably put the Singha in there as well. We're going to possibly have another 16 beer taste championship, including any beers from any supermarkets, which I think are going to be really good. We're going to find the ultimate supermarket lager. Well, that's for another video. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I'm going to look forward to doing it. But until then, the Paulaner Munchner Hell, my winner of the Supermarket Premium Lager Taste Test Championship. Until next time, have a good one.